What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, September 12th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 6:33 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we currently have more US and Russian Doomsday planes in the air. So, what you're looking at here is a map of the US, and here we have a presidential doomsday plane, also known as an E-4B Night Watch, that just took off from the DC area. And this plane was designed to carry the president in the event of a nuclear war. The president could command the entire US nuclear arsenal from this plane. And we also have a nuclear war command and control plane, a Boeing E-6B Mercury Tacoma plane that just took off from Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City, and it's currently flying over Missouri. Now, this plane is very, very important, definitely one of the most important planes in the U.S. military. It's actually operated by the Navy, and this plane can remotely launch all of our Minuteman III ICBMs should ground-based command and control get wiped out. And this plane can also function as a communications relay for our submerged nuclear-armed submarines, and also for any airborne bombers. We can send out nuclear attack options and emergency war orders through this plane to our bombers and submarines. An emergency war order is basically the order to launch. Okay, so we have these two planes in the air right now, which by itself, it wouldn't be a big deal. But when you look at the past month, all of these doomsday planes in the air basically every single day. And a few days ago, we had a bunch of Russian doomsday planes. And so we also have right now a Russian doomsday plane. This is a Tu-214 PU-SBUS. And this is actually a communications relay plane, or an airborne command post, that was built for the Russian Ministry of Defense. They only have two of them, and it's currently heading east towards Siberia. It took off from Moscow not too long ago. It's currently near Novosibirsk. And we also have another sub-hunter plane monitoring Kaliningrad and Poland, the Baltic Sea over here. And this is a P-8 Poseidon. This plane can detect submarines underwater, and it can also fire harpoon missiles into the water to destroy any enemy submarine. Now, whether this thing is loaded with harpoon missiles or not, I'm not sure. I think in this situation, it's most likely just scanning the area to see if there's any Russian subs in this critical area of the Baltic Sea near the Bay of Gdańsk, which is in northern Poland. This is a very important port city for Poland and the eastern flank of NATO. And this is Kaliningrad right here. This is a Russian province that is sandwiched between Lithuania and Poland. And you can see this P-8 Poseidon just doing really intense monitoring of this area. And they've been flying these around the clock for the last few days. So something must be going on in this area. But again, another Russian doomsday plane. This is an airborne command post for the Russian military, only two of them built. It's currently heading east to Siberia. And here in the U.S., a presidential doomsday plane and a Tacoma plane airborne right now. We also have some breaking news coming from the Ukrainian General Staff, and they're saying that apparently Russia is going to mobilize up to 700,000 troops. Okay, this is coming from Ukraine's top generals. Okay, the Ukrainian General Staff, that's like the U.S. Chief of Staff. The Kremlin is about to start a large-scale forced mobilization in Russia proper and the occupied territories of Ukraine, targeting to conscript 400,000 to 700,000 people. Okay, this was reported by a Ukrainian news outlet, Euromaidan Press. Again, this is the Ukrainian Chief of Staff, Ukraine's generals. Okay, they're saying up to 700,000 troops being mobilized. And This also is in line with what the Ukrainian intelligence said like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They said 500,000, but they said more of like a quiet mobilization. But they were saying end of September. What's interesting is there's a lot of talk about 9/23/23 that something is going to happen on September the 23rd of this year. And I wonder if that has something to do with the European theater and possibly another mobilization. Maybe some new front is going to open up. Because if you guys remember, Russia invaded Ukraine on February the 24th of 2022. And a lot of people were telling me, I got tons and tons of emails from everybody telling me that watch out for February 22nd, 2022, something is going to happen. And that's 2/22/22, which is a multiple of the devil's number. But interestingly, Russia invaded Ukraine 2 days after 2/22/22. They invaded on 2/24/22. But if you remember, Putin visited China right before he decided to invade Ukraine, and he got the blessing of Xi Jinping right around 2/22/22. Okay. So I have a feeling that something is going to happen just in about 11 days, 9/23/23. And we have that emergency alert system test on October the 4th at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a nationwide test. Everybody in the country is going to get an emergency alert test on their phones and on their TVs and on the radio. And make no mistake about it, guys, this is a test for nuclear war, okay? The emergency alert system is designed to alert the U.S. population in the event of a nuclear war. They would send out these messages to our phones, to our devices, to our TVs, radios, to tell us where the missiles are going to be landing and how soon they're going to be landing, okay? So it's critical that this system works, but I find it interesting that they're suddenly doing this drill when Russia just announced about a week ago that they deployed their RS-28 Sarmat, and then literally like 4 days later, the U.S. tested a Minuteman III ICBM with 3 warheads on it. Okay, normally they're only supposed to have 1 according to the New START treaty. So that's evidence that the U.S. is up-arming its arsenal. Okay, we have 400 Minuteman missiles, and they're only supposed to have 1 warhead as per the Obama New START treaty. But because Putin pulled out of it, we can now add back 2 more warheads for each missile. So that's another 800 warheads, each 300 kilotons each, which is a massive amount of firepower. Okay, but things are certainly ratcheting up here. Okay, we also have some breaking news that NORAD is going to be doing a flyover later on tonight over DC. Okay, so they're going to fly over DC with F-16's, an MH-65 Dolphin helicopter, and a Civil Air Patrol C-182. So let me just read this to you. This is an official press release. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, will conduct exercise Falcon Virgo, a live fly air defense exercise, September 13, 2023, between midnight and 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time in the National Capital Region. Under the direction of the continental U.S. NORAD region, aircraft participating in the exercise include NORAD F-16 fighter jets, a U.S. Coast Guard MH-65D Dolphin helicopter, and a Civil Air Patrol C-182 aircraft. Some portions of the exercise may involve flights at approximately 2,500 feet and may be visible from the ground. So that's very low, guys. If weather prevents these regularly scheduled flights, the exercise is scheduled to commence the next day at the same time. Okay, so if it rains overnight tonight, they're going to do it tomorrow night. NORAD routinely conducts exercises with various scenarios, including airspace restriction violations, hijackings, and responses to unknown aircraft. All NORAD exercises are carefully planned and closely controlled. Falcon Virgo is a routine exercise in support of Operation Noble Eagle 1. Okay, so I don't believe that this particular one is routine. I think that this is some kind of a drill. Okay, they're sending these Doomsday planes in the air every single day. Now we have a NORAD exercise. They tested an ICBM last week with extra warheads. Okay, Doomsday planes on the daily. Breaking news coming from Romania and the Black Sea that Russia fired missiles at a grain ship and 2 drones landed in Romania. I mean, who knows what's going on behind the scenes that we're not being told about? Okay, the U.S. military is not required to tell everything. In fact, they hide 75% of things that happen. Okay, so for all we know, they're telling us that Russia landed 2 drones in Romania. What if it was 10? What if it was a town that got hit? I mean, we would never know, okay, unless you have the appropriate clearance, which is going to be very high, at least top secret. So this is absolutely huge news, guys. And we also had the U.S. conduct a reconnaissance flight over the Russian Arctic. Check this out: an RC-135 rivet joint with the call sign Jake 27 flew from the UK to Alaska last night. Look at this flight. This is just absolutely insane. It actually got aerially refueled in northern Norway, and then it flew all the way across the Russian Arctic, obviously spying on those Russian bases in the Russian Arctic. Okay, this is absolutely huge, guys. Okay, something is going down. Our military is operating at a very high level of alert. Okay, sending an ISR plane over the Russian Arctic, it's not that common. And obviously, they're trying to gather information on what's going on over here. And this is that Operation Noble Eagle. I'll read a little bit about this thing here that they're doing tonight. Operation Noble Eagle began on September 11, 2001 in response to the September 11th attacks. Operation Noble Eagle began with the mobilization of thousands of National Guard and Reserve personnel to perform security missions on military installations, airports, and other potential targets such as bridges, power plants, and port facilities. These reservists were called to active duty under a mobilization authority known as a partial mobilization. In a time of national emergency declared by the President of the United States, partial mobilization authorizes the President to order members of the Ready Reserve to active duty for a period not to exceed 24 consecutive months. Okay, so the President can declare an emergency and deploy the military for up to 24 months. That is huge, guys. Okay, a lot of people out there think that martial law could never happen. Well, it's right here. Okay, it could definitely happen. Okay, so this is the test that's going down tonight, and I want to just give you guys an update on Hurricane Lee. Okay, we have Hurricane Lee still out here in the Atlantic, and it's forecasted to go north towards Maine and the Canadian Maritimes. So it looks like New England, for the most part, might dodge a bullet on this one. We'll have to wait and see. It's still way too early. I mean, it's all the way down here. Anything can happen between now and then. It's just moving its way north extremely slow. Okay, like 15 miles per hour, if that. Right now, they have it at 7 miles per hour northwest. I mean, that's like walking speed. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not walking speed. That's like jogging speed. And this thing is all the way down here, so it's moving extremely slow. And, a lot of people are already saying it's going to move out to sea or hit the Canadian Maritimes, but we just don't know for sure where it's going to go. It's so early still. But we have another tropical wave off the coast of Africa. It has an 80% chance of development, so we got to keep an eye on that. And here's the latest forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center as of 5 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. And we also have some breaking news coming from my home state of Pennsylvania. Escaped murderer Danilo Cavalcante, the guy who's been on the run in the Philadelphia area, apparently broke into someone's garage last night and was shot at by the homeowner. The homeowner did not hit the murderer, but the murderer did manage to steal a 22 long rifle. And so the manhunt is continuing. There's a $25,000 award to whoever catches this person or has information that would lead to the arrest of this person. And I want to just share this video. We have locals in the area arming up, and they're already going around trying to find this guy. I thought this video was interesting simply because this guy here has a blue scooter. Of all the things that you would choose to go on a manhunt with, you pick a blue scooter, but you can see he's got a suppressed AR style rifle of some kind. And Pennsylvania has a very high number of gun owners. And as this manhunt progresses to rural areas, which is where the manhunt is right now, it's starting to go out towards Amish country. I can assure you, as a resident of Pennsylvania, that almost every rural Pennsylvanian has a gun in their house. And my prediction is if they don't catch him soon, he's going to end up getting shot by a farmer or by a homeowner, okay, because everybody's armed in the Pennsylvania countryside. As you can see here, we have the redneck posse out with their blue scooters looking for this guy. And here we have some video footage that was released by the Pennsylvania State Police. This is a thermal camera, and this is from a helicopter, and they're filming this escaped murderer fleeing through a neighborhood here. You can see a little wood lot there. He's running through the woods. And, you know, this video clearly demonstrates some of the shortcomings of thermal. I have thermal optics, and I've used thermal optics to observe wildlife for many, many years legally. And people think that thermal optics are like a game changer. And yes, they are. I love thermal, but you can easily hide from it just by going in dense brush. Like in this situation here, you can see that there's some tree cover. And as soon as the guy goes under the tree canopy, you can't even see him, okay? Because the thermal will not penetrate, tree canopies and dense brush, and it'll also have a hard time in fog. And also, if somebody's behind like a piece of glass, the infrared will not penetrate the glass. Okay, so if you're inside of a car, I'm not going to see if you're in that car if I'm looking at your car with a thermal. Okay, if you're just sitting in the car, I won't know that. I might see that your engine is hot if you were driving it, but I won't see that there's anybody in there. I can't look through glass. Okay, but that's pretty much it, guys. I'll keep you updated. I am planning to do a live stream, most likely Thursday, but I'll definitely do a live stream this week. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a live stream, and I missed the live streams too. I've just been so busy because of Labor Day. I was out of town visiting family, and I'm still playing catch up on a lot of things around the house. So I'm going to do a live stream later on this week. So I'll see you guys at the live stream. And until then, I'll continue to update you. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell notification to get notified of uploads when I do these updates. And other than that, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.